Hello, hello, this is Mr. Case, and we are on 10.2b. Last time we talked, we looked at the spread of Islam. We looked at the fact that Muhammad didn't last forever. He died in 632 AD, and he was succeeded by caliphs or successors, some of his lieutenants. And in each case, they were guided by the principles that Muhammad set down in which to live. When the last one, Uthman, was murdered, the Umayyads set up a capital in Damascus. They moved it from Mecca. And there's going to be a fundamental split. We're going to talk about that split today between two sects or denominations of Islam. The first is Shia, or the Shiites. Their principal belief is that the caliph had to be a relative of Muhammad, a blood relative. And that seems to be a little bit more radical because there's not as many of them around as there would be the other one. So the Shiites insist that the person that becomes the next leader has to be a relative of Muhammad. The Sunnis is the other major sect, and they believe that anybody could be a leader if they followed Muhammad's example. That seems to be a little bit more liberal. And indeed, today, in the Islamic world, the Islamic world, the Sunnis outnumber the Shiites in a great way. There's a third sect, and these folks are a little bit more mystical. They are the Sufis, and they believed in poverty and devotion to the faith. They didn't like what the Umayyads were doing as far as living a life of luxury, so they decided to break away and devote themselves to study of the Quran and living close to the poverty level. Now, it's kind of neat because a little bit later on you see in the Ottoman Empire a group of Sufis called the Whirling Dervishes, and they're a little bit more mystical. They believed that they could get messages from Allah by spinning themselves into a trance-like state. It's like sitting on a swing set and twisting the swing until you can't twist it anymore, and then let it go. And as you kind of spin around, you're kind of loopy, or in this case, these folks go into a trance-like state. And so they're famous for kind of spinning around. At least the Whirling Dervishes are. They're a sect of Islam. So those are the three big sects. Now, coming after the Umayyads, about 750 AD, is a ruling family called the Abbasids. Now, they're from present-day Iraq, and they're going to overthrow the Umayyads about 750 AD, as I said, and destroy any successors to the throne. That's the way they did things back then. When a new family came into rule, they killed the entire family, so nobody could say, I'm the true ruler. The Muslims are going to control areas in Africa, Asia, and Europe, as we're going to see. Al-Andalus is the Muslim word for southern Spain. Andalusia is a region in Spain today that has Islamic roots for sure. The Abbasids are going to consolidate power. Consolidate means kind of bring together. And they move the capital from Damascus farther east towards Baghdad. So when they come to power, upon gaining power, they murder all remaining Umayyads. I believe there's only one Umayyad prince. He escaped and fled to Spain and set up a dynasty there. You have other Muslims known as Berbers in North Africa, B-E-R-B-E-R-S, and they're led by a gentleman by the name of Jahal Tariq, and he is a famous warrior. And as he moves into southern Spain from North Africa, we have this big rock in southern Spain named after him. It's Gibraltar, Gibraltar, because Jahal was like a rock. He could not be moved. The Muslims in Spain are called Moors, M-O-O-R-S. And as they move up north, they're going to be defeated by a group of Christian knights at the Battle of Tours in 732 AD. That's significant, the Battle of Tours, because it stops the Muslims from taking over Western Europe. they have to retreat, and Western Europe stays Roman Catholic or Christian. The Abbasids, as I said, are going to move their capital to Baghdad, B-A-G-H-D-A-D, Baghdad, and set up a dynasty there. You're going to have rival groups, the Shiites, the Sufis, the Sunnis, but the Abbasids are going to increase religious knowledge, they're going to increase trade, they're going to increase the economy in general, and they're going to tie the Arab lands together. The Fatimid dynasty is a dynasty of Muslims in North Africa all the way up to Syria. It's named after Fatima, Muhammad's daughter, and they existed principally in North Africa. Religion, language, trade, economy tie all the Muslims together. The trade network is going to expand from Western Europe all the way east. You've got two major sea trading routes. One is the Med Sea, and the other is the Indian Ocean, the Mediterranean, the Indian Ocean. And sailors are going to sail up and down the coast and trade their wares. To encourage trade, Muslims are going to set up banks in cities, and you're going to see money changers. If you're going to trade stuff, you got to have money. And check this out. This is pretty cool. Muslim banks offered SAKS, S-A-K-K-S. They're letters of credit, and what they are, what we know them better as, is checking accounts, because the Europeans pronounced that word checks. So the Muslims came up with the idea of a piece of paper that could be used at a bank to get you money if it was a signed letter of credit, and it would be good throughout the Muslim world. Now, the big city in the Muslim world is going to be Cordoba, Spain. You're going to see a population of about, 500,000 at its heyday. You're going to see Muslims, Christians, obviously, and also Jews. So it becomes a cosmopolitan city for sure. It is the center of the Muslim empire and the center of Muslim culture. You're going to see 70 libraries in the city of Cordoba, 700 mosques. Mosques, again, are houses of prayer for the Muslims, and 27 free schools. So at its heyday, you have a cosmopolitan mix. Cosmopolitan, again, means kind of like an international mix, and it was a dazzling city in its heyday. Well, that's 10.2b, so chew on that for a while. Bye-bye.